Hey, Paul. Um, so I haven't posted anything on the Oomun group for about 5 years now. And that's because in September of 2016, I quit. But I never really made an official statement about it. So I guess this is kind of it. But also wanted to just clarify a few things. I still get the emails and messages and all that stuff, mainly hate mail to be honest, about the project, but I don't respond to it ever. Notifications are all switched off. And tonight I wanted to find an old email and I just saw everything that had been sent basically. I went back and rewatched The Truth About Squatters, it was weird to watch, to be honest. So just to clarify, I still agree with all the core principles of the human group. It's just sort of fundamentally me, always has been since I was a kid. And I'm a product of Buckminster Fuller, Bucky Fuller, and the next generation, Jack Fresco, and my mate Colin Turner. And we're all influenced by Bucky's idea of applying the principles of engineering to the pillars of society for social change, engineering. And all I did was add in the concept of self governance and the idea of getting back in tune with what is. So, objectives, basically. So, not adding faith or beliefs on top of objective truths because, well, we lose touch with reality, don't we? I quit because, and bummer alert, it can't happen. And sorry, but if that's going to fuck up your day, I doubt it will, but yeah. And the comments on the Truth About Squatters are kind of like a Robinson squash concentration of why it can't, you know. We're too far gone, and egotism, particularly narcissism and anti-veganism or sociopathy, which I was warned about, you know, us being conditioned by the entire time during my human years, have gone from strength to strength really now, haven't they? They're just doing fucking great. Um, it was both kind of like cringy and cool rewatching the squatting documentary. You know, it was surreal. Um, but I suppose the main thing I got from it is I wanted to sincerely apologise um, for being misleading, kind of with both the title and some of the content that was in it. I alluded to this idea that that's what squatters are like, and we, or they, aren't. They generally are people who've been through, you know, either been through extreme trauma, or they found themselves unexpectedly, or expectedly, or justifiably, or unjustifiably, out of a job all of a sudden, or they're people who are trying to just save up some cash, or they just like it. They just enjoy the punky, adventurous, liberating aspect of it. You know, the lifestyle of it. I want to personally use it as a means to start the human group, and a few others were on board with that. You know, some people were amazingly fucking helpful. You know, Weil was incredible that entire time, and others were just sort of freeloading. They were just taking the piss. You know, squatting cliche, which I didn't mention in the documentary. So again, profuse apologies, genuinely. But it got to a point where I kind of felt like I was the only one who really lived and breathed the whole philosophy of the human group, and that it kind of become a piss take. So I bailed, you know. I don't feel like anyone truly ever got it, to be honest. I'd talk to people in the human buildings and during the free street food or free street lessons or whatever we were doing for hours. I mean, literally 2 or 3 hours, you know, talking to some conservative in a fucking cravat who's already physically and verbally abused me, got me by the fucking cuff of the neck against a bank. That genuinely happened twice. It's fucking surreal and ironic. And they're going, oh, fuck, fucking commies. And da, da, da. I've not got the hat on, but it's actually this is my boatman hat, but yeah. And after those hours of talking to people, they might even eventually have that pang of light. And you can actually see the moment on their face, that moment where they feel it too, you know? And the psychedelia of reality, the situation we're all in, how fucking absurd it all is. But then 3 minutes later, they're walking into the chicken shop. And that, in a nutshell, is kind of the reason why I quit. Because we seem to get stained by shit that doesn't really matter, whilst being so quick to drop the stuff that actually does. You know what I mean? And, you know, i.e. the optimization of life as much as practically possible for everyone on Earth. It kind of matters. That's also called veganism. So yeah, I just wanted to put this statement out. I still have a great deal of respect for those passionate about the cause, or for those working in the OAE, the Open Access Economic Movement, like the Free World Charter. Mwah, big up Colin Turner. Um, but I just had sort of a breakthrough, sort of a shitty eureka moment, really, you know, where I essentially realised we were fucked, and that was that. You know, I fell back into a kind of cosmic nihilistic state whilst living and working as the chef and gardener at the Hive, which is a community centre in Haggerston, shortly after the Oomun group disbanded. And it was actually my mate Scott that I owe a lot to, because he pulled my ass out of all that shit and just said, fuck all this nihilism and being bummed out and having no purpose again, and just focus on making music. I have. So I'm making shit tons of music as Loftus, and basically living my... Loftus is my nickname, if you don't know. I used to deal mescaline when I was a kid. The Latin name is Lophophora williamsi. I was tripping hard once. I had the, like in plants and cacti and succulents and stuff, you have the little tag that's got the Latin name in. Or it's got Gardener's Delight on the tomatoes. This had Lophophora williamsi on it, and someone put tus after the Loftus, so that's the... So do like and subscribe and follow me on our channel, blah blah. And I'm currently setting up a CIC, a community interest charity, where I'll be growing food aeroponically, which will be cool. We'll be going with mental health advocates to the streets to each individual homeless person, essentially doing what the government should be doing. Still doing some free food, still teaching agriculture and music theory. So the human ideas of doing things because you love it and it benefits others are still firmly ingrained in me. They always will be. That's kind of what I was fighting with after it finished, was sort of like, well, does anything fucking matter anymore then? Do you know what I mean? I know to most people who've just bumbled onto the human thing, they're just the Sun newspaper, aren't they? They're just watching that video and they go in the comments like, fucking squatters, fucking cunts, like stealing electric, and they haven't looked at it for shit, they haven't got it. But just to clarify again, yeah, we're a one-off. We're weird. Not all squatters are like that at all. I mean, I've been arrogant enough to be honest during this Oomun thing, but that was me. That was me talking to people and being like, well, look at this fucking amazing situation we found ourselves in. And I was conceived in a squat, so when I went back to squatting, after being let down of a job that I'd moved to London for, which is the London Guitar Academy. I did want to do the Oomun thing and Loftus, but I was coming down to be a music theory and guitar teacher at London Guitar Academy, and then 2 days before the job, they were like, oh, you don't have a job now. And I was like, well, I've moved down here and got a flat and shit. And they're like, well, fuck you, sort of thing. So I was made homeless and found a squat. It resonated, and all of a sudden I was like, this is my path then. I wasn't meant to just do a 9-to-5 job. I'm meant to be doing this. I don't think the same way as everyone else I seem to talk to anyway. Sorry for being arrogant, but fuck you, it's true. I don't. I'm some weird fucking alien thing. That was the other reason I quit, is this doesn't resonate with people. It takes an extremely long time for these concepts to resonate with people, and that's extremely fucking baffling to me, because these are things that are so commonsensical to me. Be in tune with objective truths. Everything is innately psychedelic. We're just sort of here. There's no briefing in the womb. It's just like, and you exist, and here we are. It's fucking weird, you know? We get so lost in so much shit that doesn't matter, and the only thing that actually makes it in any way worthwhile or deeming purpose is because we have emotionality, and shit hurts or shit doesn't hurt, and it always will, but there's no point adding so much unnecessary amount of suffering on top of it. It's pointless. We need that suffering because God's an idiot and he made the world dualistic. I don't know why, that's what he decided to do, because he's not fucking perfect, but yeah. So we need suffering so we can grow and da-da-da, but yeah. But I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave it to someone else to kind of take the whole thing on where I've left off. Hopefully, I hope someone does. Honestly, I really do. I hope someone's seen it and been inspired by it in some way. Because not all the emails were just like, "You're a fucking cunt," and da-da-da. A lot of it was like, "I'd never thought about this sort of shit before, and you helped," and that's kind of what the whole point was. So that's great, you know. And I fucking love you. And don't stop. Remain present and fucking fight for it. Go for it. Because I wasn't wrong. I wasn't. It's true. Like, it's something. It's the only thing that really does make anything worthwhile. And music's a positive exhaust pipe for me to just cope with the fact that for me it can't happen. But if someone else feels that fire that I had at that time, and it's still there in me, don't get me wrong, it's just, it's not got that same sense of optimism anymore. I don't have that relentless, almost naivety. It's the cliche, isn't it? The optimist activist who drops into a cynic. Bit of advice to anyone who does want to take this on. People don't like being told that their entire life is a sham. They're not a fan of it. They get fucked off. Our egos are very strong. Do you know what I mean? And good luck talking religion to people. So essentially telling people that they're contributing both to the psychological and physical destruction of ourselves and others won't go down well. So if you can find a better way that's less arrogant and ironically less self-righteous than the way I was saying it, then all praises be to you, you know. And that shit will help you a lot if you can find a way of getting through to people. Because it's a minefield, talking to people on the streets all day. And I got attacked for giving out free food. I got strangled against the bank for giving out free food and saying money doesn't work anymore. You can't get more ironic than that. It's like a British tragic comedy. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking insane. It did help skin my neck out though. Got a really good neck for it. Swings and roundabouts every cloud and all that. But anywho, yeah, continue enjoying your time on Earth. It's easily still the best fucking planet in the Milky Way galaxy, isn't it? Like, no doubt about it. We've got ice cream and a breathable atmosphere. That's handy. That kicks the shit out of Mars, doesn't it? The fact you're not going to implode and you can breathe. So yeah. So cheers all. Remain present. Logic and love. Continue being the good in the world. Do your thing. And if you're not the good in the world, go fuck yourself. Mwah.